Hey Tubies, check it out. I got my triquetra in action here. Those of you who've been following me, you know I bought this a few days ago and I decided to wait till the full moon. Last night I consecrated it. It's all charged up. Isn't that great? So here's my triquetra. Those of you who watch the TV show Charm, you know this is an old witch symbol, and that show made it really popular. So you're walking down the street and you see somebody wearing a triquetra now, you know, hey, that might be a witch. Anyways, I'm so glad you're here. We're going to talk more about the triquetra tomorrow on Wiccan Wednesday, so you make sure you want to be here for that, okay? But here we are. It's Tuesday, and that means it's time for messages from the spirit world. You guys are the best, and a lot of you have been sending letters and writing. For all of our new people here, messages from the spirit world is something we do every Tuesday, and I just grab a bunch of letters and I answer questions. People write to me from all over the world. It's absolutely free, no charge to be on messages from the spirit world. So you can just put your question in the comment box below, or if you don't want to do that, you can write to me at my email, which is readings@robert-hickman.com. Again, I'll put the link in the box below. So go in the info box, you'll see all those links, okay? So definitely check that out. By the way, for those of you who've been asking, yes, I do private readings. You want to visit my website at robert-hickman.com. Again, the link will be below. You can read about my readings, my pricing, and call and get on my schedule, or send me an email. By the way, if you're calling to get on my schedule, I'm having a little phone problem, so I'm working on that. Hopefully tomorrow it'll be fixed. But if you can't reach me via phone, send me an email. Again, the link will be below. And I can get you on the schedule for a private reading, okay? I'd love that. So yeah, my private readings, a lot of people are saying, what's it like in a private reading? It's a full hour long, and I cover everything: past, present, future, spirit guides, past lives, soul connections, messages from the other side. All of that comes in, as well as answering any questions you have. So those of you who've had readings with me, I think you can probably testify in the box below that I give a lot for the hour. And I think, you know, that I put a lot of effort into it, and I hopefully do a good job. So anyways, but you can check out my website and contact me if you want to get on for a private reading. Now, I do charge for private readings, but I do not charge for messages from the spirit world, okay? All right, well, here we are. Well, we're going to go through the letters, but before we get into that, let's just all take a moment. Let's center ourselves. I want you just to be open and attuned to the spirit world. Okay, there we go. Now, you know, I like to say, somebody said, Bob, remind everybody about your old saying. And you know what? That's a good point. I always have a saying here, and I like to say this. Even if I don't get to your letter, first of all, don't be upset, because I get hundreds and hundreds of letters and requests every week. But listen to all the messages, because sometimes Spirit will speak through somebody else's message to you, and you might say, oh my God, that's like a similar situation to what I'm in. Listen, because you know the spirit world wants to reach as many people and be of service to many people, so they will sometimes work through letters that they know, like that Sally Jones situation applies to 5 other people in, you know, watching this, and they'll make that letter come to the top of the pile so that Sally Jones not only gets help, but the 5 other people they want to help get help. So listen carefully, okay? Well, let's jump in here. All right, our first letter today is from Allie Walton. Hello, Allie. Allie's from the UK. I love my UK viewers. Hey, UK viewers, you want Psychic Bob to come over? I've been thinking about coming over in a few months and doing an appearance there. Would you guys like that? Let me know, okay? All right, Allie writes, she says, Dear Bob, do you believe in soul groups? I feel that I have known you before. Also, am I on the right spiritual path? And how can I grow more? Allie, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for this. Actually, to answer your question, yes, I do believe in soul groups. I believe that before we're born into the earth, we actually know people in the spirit world. I believe we live as eternal souls, and we have a whole team that helps us plan our incarnation. And we actually put together groups, and sometimes we all incarnate together. Now, soul groups don't just have to be family. A lot of times family are part of your soul group, but they don't have to be, because your soul group can be your family as well as your friends, and sometimes even strangers that you just pass on the street are actually part of your soul group. And a soul group means that you've all chosen to be on Earth at the same time to experience either a time period in history or an event, or the energy of the earth draws you together and to work on soul growth. So yes, when you say that you feel like you've known me before, this is very interesting. And I have to tell you, in all honesty, first time I saw your letter come through on my channel, which was earlier than this one, I did feel that I knew you. And it's very interesting. When I look at your picture, I had this sense of familiarity. So it's very probable, and I think it's very possible, that we are in part of the soul group, because it's strange how you instantly recognize me and I instantly recognize you, and we've never met. Now, Allie, you can tell everybody, we've never met in this life. But you know what? I think there is a connection there. I'm not sure what it is yet, so I got to be honest, I'm not getting it. I usually don't see well for myself, but I can tell you that I do think we share a connection there, and we'll have to explore that more, okay? Definitely. Now, also, am I on the right spiritual path? I feel that you are. It's interesting, because when I step into your frequency, I get I get two colors. I get pink light around you, and I get purple. Pink tells me that you've been doing a lot of inner work, a healing of past struggles, healing of sorrows, letting go of fears. You're at a real point of progression in your life. And that purple light tells me that you've been making strong contacts in the spirit world. So I want to encourage you to keep going. To grow more each day, what you want to do is literally, and I mean this, take 5 minutes a day and just sit and meditate. I have some meditations in my channel if you look at my videos, but there's one called a closed eye meditation. I also have open eye. I recommend you do a real simple one where you just visualize light flowing through your body. Just take 5 minutes to do that. It can be any color light. Traditionally, it's white light, but if you feel that's too harsh, tint it to a color you like, blue or purple or green. But try with white light first. And if you do that every day, that helps strengthen your ability to open your channel, because that light that comes from the spirit world is really pure power, and it will invigorate your body, mind, and spirit. It opens your chakras, and it helps you be attuned. But just take 5 minutes. A lot of people, where they mess up is they try to do meditation, and then they try to sit for 20, 40, 80 minutes, 100, 2 hours a day, and they might do it at first, but it's hard to maintain a long meditation schedule, at least in this modern world, unless you're a monk or a nun. But I think 5 good minutes. And the secret is do it at the exact same time. This will help you to be more attuned, more psychic. It'll connect you to your guides and angels, okay? So that's going to help you get going, okay? Anyways, we'll talk more about this, but I hope that gives you a little insight today. Thanks for waiting. All right. Our next letter is from KF. Hello, KF. KF writes us, I love you, Bob. Oh, thank you, darling. I love you, too. Thanks for being here. That's so sweet. Been watching your videos for a while now, been watching for the last year. And for a while now, I've been dealing with pretty debilitating anxiety and depression. It's been going on for about 1.5 years now. Oh, I'm so sorry. It leaves me feeling unreal, dreamy, and disconnected from the world around me. It's getting harder to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay. Could you tell me what the spirit world has to say about my condition? Thank you for your help. Best regards, KF. Well, first of all, KF, I'm so sorry you're struggling with this. But I am glad that you're here and that you've reached out. I made spirit channels so that there's a place for people to come to be connected, to talk about spiritual things. In the outer world, most people don't get this. It's very few people that are open to higher realities. And I'm really sorry here that you've been struggling with anxiety and depression. It's literally like a yo-yo. You know, one day you're up beyond the ceiling, and the next day you're down in the basement. So it's a very struggle. It's very hard and creates a lot of struggle on a mental, physical, and soul level. One thing's Fletcher's back here talking in my ear. And he actually says that there are a few things going on around you. Now, I'd like you to work with a doctor. You know, I always say God made doctors too. But I want them to look at you because I feel that you have an imbalance, a hormonal imbalance that's actually triggering the anxiety. This may actually be connected to the birth of a child. I feel like in the last year to 2 years, maybe 3 years, there's been a child into your life here. And I feel like there's an issue here that may be connected to almost like postpartum depression. But what's interesting is I feel like it actually started perhaps during pregnancy, but as pregnancy progressed and birth, I feel like it just kind of kicked it into full gear. But it does seem to be a connection to hormonal imbalance. It's generating a trigger of a chemical imbalance. And I think a doctor would actually be able to put you on something to balance it. So I'd like them to look at you because I feel that you have, this is kind of what's kicking it off. I do feel that anxiety is an issue that runs in your family. And I feel if you look back in your family, you'll also see that there is some predisposition towards anxiety and possibly depression as well. But I am getting anxiety in the family line. And so I think you've got two levels. You've got just your current physical body, but I think you also have some genetic stuff that's also coming over. I also get around you what we call seasonal, not seasonal depression. I'm blanking out today. It's situational. That's the word. Situational depression. And situational depression is generally an event that is occurring in our life that triggers, feelings of anxiety or despair. And I feel like you do fluctuate between anxiety and despair. Let me tell you, please don't give up hope. I really feel for you that you're going to turn the corner here. And I really feel like in the next month, you would be able to start to see more light and more balance. I think that you are here for a great mission. I also feel that around you, there is a previous life. I pick up energy around previous existence. I want to put this around World War I time period. And I feel that you were a mother in that time. I feel that you gave birth and that you died during childbirth. And I think on a soul level for you, it's almost like, childbirth triggered past life trauma of not being able to be there for your child. And I think right now, it's like on a soul level, you're saying, I came through that, but I'm not supposed to be here. Part of you remembers the beauty of the other side, okay? See, inside of us, we all remember the spirit world. And sometimes that it gets triggered, but when we can't fully embrace the spirit world, then we get depressed. So it's kind of a soul level thing going on as well as a biochemical. And one of the things is just by hearing about your past lives today, this will start to release some of this anxiety and some of this fear. You're not meant to die in childbirth. You're able to live this time, and you're going to go on and have a productive life. But I do feel like I want you to definitely talk to a doctor about hormonal imbalance. I feel like they might want to quickly treat you for depression with an antidepressant, which wouldn't be bad in a short term. I'll just tell you personally, now I can't legally say this by law, I can't give medical advice. I'm not a believer in antidepressants as a long-term solution. My personal opinion, okay? But I do think they're very helpful for people in a short-term period. And I think that with your situational anxiety, short-term antidepressant would be good for you, and I would look at that. But go beyond just that. I want them to look at hormonal levels because I feel that that's also a factor in all of this. They would put you on the antidepressants, but they don't address the other side. It may not go as far as it could, and I think both are equally important, okay? Anyways, I'm with you. Everybody here at Spirit Channel, pray for KF. KF, you got to support here. You can come here and talk to people, write in the comments, exchange information, email each other. We're all a community. We all help each other, okay? but I'm with you and I'm pulling for you, and let me know, okay? Keep me posted. God bless you, darling. Thanks for waiting. All right. Oh, I have another messages coming in here. This is actually for one of my subscribers. You know, as I'm putting together the show each week, I just see names sometimes pop up and voices come to me. One of my subscribers, she's also out of England. Her name is Emma Pipe. Emma, I know you didn't write and ask a question, but I have to bring a message over to you here. I'm picking up a lady around you. I want to place this on your mother's side of the family, and I want to go back 2 generations. I believe this is great-grandmother on the mother's side here. I pick this person up around you. I also get a second person would be cross from her, which I think would be like a great aunt. So it feels like a great, well, actually she'd be a second great aunt, I guess. Your great aunt would be your grandmother's sister, and I may have that. I'm not sure which one I've got here. But I've got an aunt, I'm going to call it a great aunt here, and I got a great grandmother. So I got 2 of them here around you. So it's either great grandmother's sister or great grandmother's daughter, your grandmother's sister. But I'm not getting clear, but I'm getting them both here. And I just keep hearing the great grandmother say, we're here, we're guiding, we're blessing, we're helping. Tell her to keep going forward. I feel like you're at a crossroads here, and they're trying to say, just keep going forward here, okay? Looks like there's some career transition that's going to be coming to you, and I think they're stepping in to help with that. They keep drawing me to the month of October here around you. It seems like in October there's some more money coming to you, and this great-grandmother and this great-aunt keep saying, we're with her, tell her just to keep going, okay? So they're going to be with you, and you know, in your meditation, just call out to them, okay? Anyways, they're just coming through. I had to bring it over. Hope it makes sense. Thanks for being here. Love you, darling. Blessings. All right. You know the spirit world. They'll never let me rest. Even if somebody doesn't write a letter, sometimes they just jump in and say, we have to talk to this person. So anyways. All right. We got another letter here. This is from Rachel Goldsmith. Hello, Rachel. Rachel says, Dear Bob, I have been watching you for a few months. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're here. Yay. All right. And she writes, do any of my ancestors have any messages for me? Any messages would be much appreciated if you feel connected. Lots of love from London. Rachel. Gosh, I get a lot of British viewers these days. I love England. You know, a lot of you don't know, I lived in England for a while, and I love it over there. So it's like my second home. And I've always said when I get old and retire, I'm going to buy a big house in England and live there in grand manorial style. So you guys will be seeing more of me. You probably want to throw me out of England after if I do move there. You say, oh, that crazy psychic. Anyways, well, Rachel, thank you for your letter, and I'm so honored you watching a part of our channel. You know, I have to tell you, when I step into your frequency here, I'm getting 2 different voices here around you. One of them is actually a spirit guide who's around you. And I keep getting a lady around you. The name sounds like Elise. She speaks with a French accent. And she says, my name is Elise. And it's interesting. She's showing me a painting. Like she does painting. I believe she was an artist. And I believe she was part of the Impressionist era. So like 1890s, early 1900s time period. And I feel like she's trying to get you to do more creative stuff. Maybe, I don't know if it's literally painting, but she wants you to paint with her. The word she said literally is, tell her to paint with me. So you may be having a calling to explore your artistic side here, and that's what I think she's coming in to bring to you. I'm also getting an ancestor here. Now, this is going to sound strange, but this goes back way, 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 way back. You've got a lady here who would be like a 3 great-grandmothers back, like great-great-great-great-grandmother. This would be like around Victorian times here. But this lady, what's interesting is, she said, my power has passed down to her. I think that you had a great-great-great-grandmother who was actually very psychic. The word she said to me, she said, I was a bit of a witch. And she says that with a chuckle, not evil witch, but a powerful good witch. And so you're getting some power that's coming down through the family line. I do believe you have some psychic ability around you as well. I'm also hearing another voice that's coming in here. I believe this is actually your actual grandmother. I think this is on the father's side of the family. Hope I got that right. But I'm getting a woman. I believe it's the grandmother on the father's side here also. And she says to Tay, she said, just sending her blessings. And she says, just want her to know I'm fine. Okay. I get the sense at the time of her crossing, you may have been away, like traveling, or had moved to a different part of the country. And so you may not have been there right at her death. But anyway, she's fine, and she just keeps popping in here to let you know she's with you. But you've got both of them, and I get the sense that, you got some psychic powers coming down through the family line, okay? And that's on your mom's side. Ann Fletcher said on your dad you've got power too. So you got power on both sides, okay? Anyways, hope that gives you a little help to you today. Thanks for writing. Blessings to you. All right. Our next letter is from My Pursuit of Happiness. Hi, My Pursuit of Happiness. And she writes, she says, hi, Bob. I always enjoy your messages videos. Thank you so much. I always take away so much from them. Thank you. I'm so glad. That's my goal. I hope people get a lot out of this. And she writes, lately I've been feeling so down and like I can't get ahead, ever. I've been giving past lives a thought and wondering if that plays into it. Karma seems absent, though. I hope you're doing very well. Hi, hon. Let me tell you, very good questions here. Good observations. First of all, I'm sorry you're not feeling well, that you're feeling down. When I step into your frequency, I have to tell you, I do get around you some dark blue light. And that to me feels like depression around you. And I feel like literally like you're being blocked. I feel like you're being socially blocked when you try to connect with friends. I feel like in your home life you may even feel blocked. Like it's like you and your husband might be in the same house, but sometimes you just think, is he really there? And I also feel that you're feeling blocked financially as well. Don't panic. I do see transition here. You do have around you some silver light that comes in. Silver light for me means financial blessings. And I think you're going to start to see some open financial energy coming here. And I want you to watch because it literally looks like it's around beginning of October here. I think October is a month of power for you. And I really sense that, interestingly, you're going to really resonate to the autumn energy. Once it starts getting cool, it's like energetically, everything seems to pick up for you. I don't think you have to really do anything right now. You haven't created this. I think it's an energy cycle that's playing out. I do think, if you're feeling like really overwhelmed, it wouldn't hurt to see a doctor. As I said, the other writer, I said, short-term antidepressants may be an answer here. But I do feel for you, you're going to have some breakthroughs here. I feel like you're at an energy place where it's like you're ready to step into your fuller self. Because what I'm being shown here is when I go back over like I want to go back 2, maybe even 3 years here. I feel like this last 2 to 3 years, there's been a lot of inner work. It's been like, who am I? And I feel like you've been really asking the deep soul questions. And sometimes what happens is when we're in a place of transition, we're about to embrace our higher selves and really go forward, sometimes we get fearful and sometimes we get angry, all the old regrets come up, and then we try to suppress that and then it turns into depression. And I feel like for you, I want to say just let all that old stuff go. You can't fix the past. I feel like you're at a point of great power and transition. You have around you a life theme that I really am crazy about. You have a leadership life theme. I think you do very well. Like, you're good at running business, and I think you should run your own business if you're not already. Because I'm just being shown that it's like Spirit's opening doors, and I feel like from, the end of September going forward, there's going to be a lot of people entering your life who want to work with you. Like, they may even say, will you come work with me? But I'm getting career opportunities here that seem to come in the autumn time that I feel will kind of bring up your energy and put you back on track. So I think you should be open to transition and work. And, sitting around having the life of leisure, even though it might be fun, when you have a leadership theme, it gets boring real quick and it can really make you feel strangled by it. So actually freedom for you will be found through work. And that's where I'm seeing a lot of success for you. I also would encourage you to be open to working on your daily meditation as well. I pick up around you that you have a real deep awareness of the soul. You know, in your letter you talk about, could this be past lives? I don't get that. And you said karma seems absent. That's true. One of the things I like to talk about karma, and I think this is important, say a lot of people come to me and they say, Bob, am I being punished for karma in the past? You know, and there are times when karma is a factor. But the secret to overcoming karma is that if it is a factor, once we recognize it, we're released from it. So, like, for example, I had somebody come for a reading one time. And this lady, every time she'd get a job, literally within 3 days she'd be fired. And this went on for like 3 years. She was very competent, very well-spoken, very polished. She was not ignorant. She was not bad. She was nothing. And I was shocked because I would have hired this lady to work for me. She was so awesome. And she said, Bob, what is going on? Well, interestingly, when I looked at her life, what I realized was just she had karma that she had in her former life, been very successful, and rather than taking care of her workers, she abused all of them and tortured them. And she didn't actually have slaves. It was after slavery, but for her karma was as if she treated them like slaves. And she would use people and throw them out. And what was happening in this life is that people would use her. They'd hire her, work for a few days, and then throw her out. They'd take her ideas. In one case, she helped launch an ad campaign. And after literally a week, they stole all of her ad campaign ideas, made millions of dollars, and threw her out. Now, the thing is, once she understood that it was a past life thing, it released it. Now, in her case, it was karma. And when I helped her understand that, just knowing that, it broke the cycle. So karma is not always like punishment that you don't get out of. Sometimes karma is to awaken us so that we don't repeat that. And it's to help us understand to release it. I've also found that in the soul that, when we come into earth, we actually get to choose, sometimes, not always, but a lot of times, we get to choose what karma we want to work on. And so in your case, I don't feel that you've got karmic issues, but what I do feel that you have is energy cycle issue here. And I feel like when I go back here, as I said, over the last 3 years, you've been doing so much inner work. You're now coming to the end of an energy cycle. And a lot of times when we come to the end of an energy cycle, two things happen. Either everything gets really hectic or everything just kind of slows down and grinds to a halt. And I think for you, it's like things that kind of ground to a halt. And that energy makes you feel overwhelmed and depressed and just like it's hard to get it going. This is why I'm saying October is the turning month for you. Well, actually, it'll start in September, but you'll see it in full gear in October. So what I want you to do for the rest of this month and into September, I want you to be gentle with yourself. I want you to give yourself some treats. You don't have to spend a lot of money, but I want you to give yourself every week something special that's just for you. It might just be going out and watching a movie, but I want you to get out of the house, and it might be just going to get an ice cream cone. But if you each week give yourself something, you're honoring yourself. And as you honor yourself, other people will honor you. And I feel like you're going to start drawing, as I said, people to you that want to be part of your world, that will stimulate you mentally and emotionally. Sometimes when I get in these sort of circumstances, I always pause and I say, have I been focusing on my soul? We live in such a material world. It's so easy, and I'm guilty of it too. I get wrapped up and worrying about do I have the best jewelry? Do I have this or that? Oh, my neighbor's just got a new car. Maybe I should get a new car. Not envy, but just our mind gets going down that material track. And sometimes that will also produce anxiety or depression. So this is why we should practice our meditation. It tames our mind, and as we breathe out, you can visualize the light coming into you and breathe out fear, depression, anxiety. Practice that breathing, okay? That will help you. But anyways, I'm so sorry you're struggling, but I hope this gives you just a little bit of insight, okay? So don't worry, you've got no karma that's going to hold you down. You are at the end of an energy cycle, and I think I wish I could say I could speed it up, but it's going to be about a month and a half till you really start to really see transition. But just hang in there, because you know, this next month and month and a half till you get there is a wonderful time to work on giving yourself a rest, being gentle with yourself, and loving yourself. You'll start to feel that energy pick up, okay? Hope that helps. Thank you for writing. Oh my gosh, guys. Well, listen, that's all the time I've got for letters. You guys are the best. Thank you for being here. I love all of you. Sending you my blessings. Keep it here at Spirit Channel. Tomorrow we'll be back here for a Wiccan Wednesday. We're going to talk all about the mysterious triquetra. So be here. We'll see you then. I love you guys. And until tomorrow, may you blessed be.